All right, ladies and gentlemen, by the time you get this video, it'll be 2025.
That was great.
One of the greatest lifts of all time just snuck in 2024, and we're going to check that out. But first, today's video is sponsored by Transparent Labs. I want to show you guys what I take before every workout.
Cocainum.
5 to 7 days a week. Right here, this is bulk. This is their pre-workout. And then I stack that with creatine HMB. And then post-workout, I just take their grass-fed whey isolate. Now, the cool thing about this whey product they have, 4 ingredients. Grass-fed whey protein isolate, natural flavors, stevia extract, sodium chloride. No fillers, nothing really, no unnatural additives. Go check it out. Check out the link in the description. Use code Zach at checkout. Again, guys, the Transparent Labs, some of the best stuff on the market. Okay, so you guys kind of know how these videos go. I have a lot of stuff that I end up saving on Instagram when I'm doom scrolling. I've got a big backlog of stuff here, including the video of the greatest lift, maybe of all time, one of the greatest training lifts of all time. It's hard to argue against. But here, first thing I want to look at, guys. We have starting strength doing starting strength stuff. Their big 3 lifts are not the squat, bench, and deadlift, rather the squat, overhead press, and deadlift, which is actually pretty based. But the way that they teach the overhead press is to mimic the Olympic lifters of the past who did the clean and press. They also did the clean and jerk and the snatch. And this is a terrible lift right here. We're just going to watch it. Here we go.
Tight, Kiana.
Yeah. So so you guys can see she gets it off of her chest or off of her front rack. And then the bar, because she's bending, the bar actually comes down with her bend. And what's wild is like they teach this. Look at this. By getting under the bar, the double layback, which is their technical term, helps to correct the moment arm between the path and the shoulder, mid-joint, foot, vertical vector. Like just making it very confusing or using a lot of convoluted, terminology to, I don't know. Look, she seems like a pretty athletic woman. I think, just do a ton more volume at regular strict press so you don't have to depend on the double layback. But that was an absurd video. Next, we've got this Abomination. Yeah, this guy goes by Genetic Anomaly.
20 years old, right? Yeah. So genetically gifted, you're a freak. I mean, I carry this kind of muscle mass and density at 20 is super impressive.
Yeah, 20 years old, just more gear, dude. More gear. Genetic anomaly, genetic freak, totally. Absolutely. Okay, so this is something that I wanted to show you guys. This is an incredible lift, and I think it's Utah State. Darwin Thompson, 500 pounds. Unreal. That's what I'm talking about. The depth. The positions. That is incredible, bro. That's amazing. Just crazy. Okay, so next we got a video from Joshua Beaker. Yep. Say it with me, guys. Learn how to pass through. Learn how to pass through. Learn how to pass through. Not like this. This guy is purposefully passing through with straps on the bar. So look, this is a javelin dude, and honestly, at Texas A&M, the javelin guys were doing crazy shit. You can find videos of Johannes Vetter, who's I think the best in the world right now, but there's a bunch of really good javelin throwers, and they're always doing weird stuff. I probably would never ever program something like this for any athlete ever at any time ever. So look, the video before I said to pass through. This one, maybe don't pass through. And if you pass through, drop the bar. That was the point of that. If you miss it, Ivan the One, he admittedly says it's an ego lift, muscle snatch at 111. Damn, dude. All right, here we go. Ready to go. Oh yeah. Dude goes lights out. Now, if we watch that video again, he holds his breath for like 10 seconds while squeezing and trying to lift. I don't know if you guys remember when my eyes popped, like the blood vessels burst. But I actually learned how to make that not happen. I would just exhale. I would just exhale. Usually I try to brace through the whole lift and then exhale when the lift is finished. But with the deadlift, it's a little bit different when you're working with weights over 600 pounds. And so I just exhaled and I never had that problem ever again. This next video, and I want to talk about this, and I really don't want to get canceled here. I made that video about the fitness to OnlyFans pipeline. Because if we scroll through Instagram and you see a good-looking woman and she's posing in such a way, but it's in the gym, there's a high probability that if you click on the profile and you scroll down, there's OnlyFans being sold there. Now, here's a woman who says, welcome to the side of Instagram where your personal trainer is fully clothed, doesn't take every chance to show off her physique, and who cares more about how strong you become over how big your glutes are, having a six-pack, or the number on the scale. I'm Coach O, and I'm so happy you're here. So this person gets absolutely ragged in the comment section. No thanks. I don't want to pick me, coach. Wrote a whole paragraph, but we just going to go with yikes. Hey, ladies, feel free to come over to my side of Instagram where I'm actually good at my job and I don't need to put other women down to prove it. I prefer coaches who don't denigrate people in order to get the higher up. Love them. Oh, there we go. Love this mindset. Such a good role model for young ladies. And then more and more and more people ripping on her. She's taking a stance against the, OnlyFansification of the fitness world, which, I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you agree with this? Do you disagree with this? Put it in the comments section. This video is very interesting, and I feel like I would love to talk to this guy because, he's being very inflammatory with the way he delivers this, but I'm just going to let it play. He goes by More Power 305.
If I see another long femur dumb fuck doing this shit, there's going to be a problem. Stop fighting your forward lean. Right? As long as your bar path is good and the bar's tracking over the middle of your foot, you do not need to fight your forward lean. You guys are trying to force this upright position, and guess what happens when you get to the hole? You're gonna fucking lean forward anyways, dumbass. You have to lean forward when you have long femurs. You have to lean forward when you're low bar squatting. Accept it and move the fuck on. Follow at More Power 305 for more tips. Accept your forward lean or you're fucked. I'll see you guys later. What a fucking midget rack.
All right, so when I see this guy squat, it looks to me like his actual flexibility in his adductors, basically allowing his knees to get closer to his chest, is still not optimal. Like when I teach the squat, I focus on calves to hamstrings, knees to chest. And when you see people with longer femurs, when you go knees to chest, yes, there's going to be some sort of a forward lean. But that doesn't, I really don't like the idea of being like, oh, your every other part of your movement is optimal. So therefore, now you have to resort to just leaning forward because that's how your physiology works. And I just don't think people have optimized what they can with what they have. If you check out my video where I talk about how other influencers like Greg Doucette and Eugene Teoh and a bunch of people basically say you don't have to squat, and I disagree with their reasonings for not having to squat. What I do is I go through and I explain how you can get yourself to sit in a reasonably upright position with your hip crease below the knee and then build from there. Basically, you want to build the squat from the bottom up rather than learning this whole big brace and keep your chest up. That's the part that I agree with this guy right here. Basically, a lot of people, they say, keep your chest up, keep your chest up. And they have no ability to stretch in their adductors to allow their knees to get to their chest. The way that I teach it is get down into the bottom of a squat with no weight, no nothing. Can you sit there? Can you feel okay there? Can you start to open your chest up when you're in that bottom position. If you can't, fucking learn how to do it. It's not an impossibility. You just don't spend time there. And it baffles me to have people think, oh, I can't squat because they load on 135 pounds and they can't even sit with no weight. And then they put 135 pounds on their back and they go, I can't sit upright. I can't get low enough. But they can't do it with no weight. It baffles me to say for them to be like, oh, the squat is just not for me. And this guy's answer to it is just, oh, you're not leaning forward, which I disagree with. All right, here we have a much smaller known, but definitely charlatan position. This is a position that I'm pretty much a black belt in arguing against. Let's just press play here.
It's going to make a lot of people mad, but you're getting injured and you have pain because you've been taught to squat improperly. Now, this isn't your fault, but it's something that you're going to need to change if you want to be healthy and pain-free. Why would we be taught to squat like this? And take note of the thighs, the position of the knees, the position of the feet, the bend in all of these things, and the position of the back relative to the legs and the hips. When we jump like this, now look at this angle of the thighs, knees, ankles, the bend in them. Does it look the same or does it look different? I think we would all agree that jumping is considered very explosive and athletic. So if this is the position that the body likes to use when it's jumping, why would we train it like this? Okay, so why do movement like this when movement happened like this in real life? Like, this is, so what I call this is weaponized specificity. And in my opinion, it's one of the most elementary attacks on movement out there, and it still persists over and over and over again. You don't jump like this, so why teach movement like this? Because the very foundational principle, day one shit of periodization, okay? Essentially, this idea of periodization is you gain general qualities, those qualities being in range of motions that might exceed or be less than the actual range of motions that you're going to use on the field or court, whatever it may be. You might do some supercompensation where you might have some level of supercompensation where your muscles actually adapt to this external training that is generalized. It's not specific to your sport. And what you're able to do is, with that supercompensation, get stronger, and these general qualities will go up in these ranges of motion that, again, are not equal to what you're going to do on the court or field. So in that case, yeah, he's right. We are developing things that aren't specific, but that's the fucking point. That is the point of training in the gym. I cannot understand this argument that continuously comes up where we're not supposed to do that. That's what squats, rotations, all of these things, that's what they're supposed to do. Because then what you do is you convert those new movements, those broad spectrum of movements, and you can dial them into something very, very specific. What we're able to do when we use periodization is, like I said, take this huge, broad spectrum approach, leave no stone unturned physically. These general physical qualities, we will develop them to be extremely robust. So then when it comes time for the competition season, we're no longer searching for general adaptations. We are searching for specific adaptations, like the jump that he continuously shows. This athlete also, the squat that he does is incredible. It's amazing. I would love to see a basketball player do that with not maximal weights, but just have that robust of a movement where their knees are, again, close to their chest. Now, this athlete does have a long femurs, and that's actually a great squat. Knees get close to the chest. Hamstrings are touching the calves, and then you stand up. We can develop that quality, and then we don't have to train it again. We can specifically convert that into jumping. This guy is trying to sell some sort of methodology where he squats all funky and weird and says other people are doing it wrong. It's as simple as that. And it's, in my opinion, it's fundamentally wrong. Okay, so now we are going to go to the main story today. And like I said, this is one of the best lifts in history. And this is not me being hyperbolic. Here it is, folks.
That is soft shit.
$275 jerk has never been done before. And mind you guys, this comes from Vintage Lifts. Vintage Lifts might be the greatest Instagram follow going right now, period. You got to follow this guy. He's incredible. Yeah, just follow him. And it says, no words, the heaviest weightlifting lift ever caught on film. The greatest jerk of all time. Ali Reza Yousefi, 2024. Yeah, I mean, we've had some pretty big jerks before. Off the top of my head, I think, Lasha did 270 clean and jerk, which is pretty much, I think, the greatest lift ever. So again, I was hyper. No, okay, we're not going to do that. Which is right alongside this, right? Because the reason, so this 270 clean and jerk is the heaviest clean and jerk ever caught on video, I think. Now, this is the heaviest jerk ever lifted in video, but that makes it the heaviest weightlifting movement, like Vintage Lift said, of all time. And there's been some other ones. I think Mikhail Koklav did 260 from behind the back or behind the neck. Tarakti's done 250. I think Klokov's done 250 or 255. I think Kazumura Akayev has done 250. Ilya did clean and jerk 245, clean and squat jerk 245. That is actually the greatest lift ever. I don't care. It's never going to be done ever again. Ever, 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 ever. That will never, ever be done ever. How many times am I going to say ever? Not enough. But yes, guys, this is fucking nonsense. 275 from the rack, dude. Rack, step, boing. Now, here's the thing with Iranian super heavies is that they show a ton of promise early on. And this guy has always been good as a junior. I think he's now finally a senior lifter. Finally, this guy is. But, the Iranians, they go so hard, bro. And a lot of times they burn out. However, they have notoriously had, Rezazadeh, Salimi, but there was one other guy, his last name was Mulai or something, and he was right in the ballpark of this. He was, clean and jerking 260 in training. So look, I would love to see this guy push Lasha's number. I think Lasha will retire soon. But the reason why Lasha is so deadly is that he's so goddamn consistent. He didn't miss for a long time. And when he did, it was kind of like, that's okay. He was consistently going, 470 kilos, like consistently, which is outrageous. So, it's an exciting time, and this is an exciting lift, and I'm honestly stoked to be sharing it with you guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I love you, and I'll see you in the next video.